Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be a Titan one. I haven't done one for a while, but this month was awesome. I got enough hype naturally to get Zombie Penta to hype 4, and I thought I would show you guys that with a showboat anyway, it is possible to live through um, not just the first cycle, but also the second cycle of the boss on tier 5, right? This is the highest level we have, and you can get 3 full rotations without using a hot tag or anything else like that. We'll talk about the build and stuff afterwards and what was required for me to get there. You can see I have 185 million health on my zombie penta, and you're gonna at hype 4 you're gonna need about 165 million health to live through the boss's finisher 2 times, right? This is a very simple build. It's just basically the Alistair Black build. I actually took the strap I'm using on Alistair Black and threw it on Penta and just spamming the finisher. So yeah, you're gonna want approximately 165 million health to live through all of it, give or take. The loop is really simple, straightforward. You're just spamming the finisher, right? So when tour perks go away, you could do this with Hall of Fame. I think Simmons adds green MP. I'm not sure right off the top of my head. And you could use this to load the finisher, so you'd get one less finisher to start. But if you wanted to use dual Hall of Fame trainers to get the HP. But yeah, I'll show you guys the setup afterwards. This is going to be fairly boring, I suppose, not but pretty straightforward, right? You're just spamming the finisher, which I like because you can get through it pretty quick, which is important on this one because 3 rotations definitely takes a while to go through, right? You're doing 45 actions, and each rotation we're probably getting like 1.2 to 1.3 billion out of this. And then three rotations or 3 turns, I guess. Each turn we're getting like 1.2 billion every 5 actions, give or take 1.2, 1.3. So that's like about 3.5 to 4 billion um for a full rotation. And if we get 3 rotations on the boss, we should be right at like somewhere between 12 and 15 billion with Penta, with no special tricks or anything here. And then we can just tag our second in as you normally would. And get the damage from them. So the higher level hype is definitely what'll be necessary to move past like a tier 5 when we have to defeat a tier 5 when they drop tier 6s, right? You're gonna need a bunch of hype 4 people that in your open slot, your first slot, that can live a long time and get that extra damage in. Because on the higher tiers, you're not able to do a lot of the cheese strategies. Like, you won't be able to use like, I doubt you'll be able to do like any of the KO cheese strategy that you'll see, or the Penta hot tag strategies you'll see on the higher levels. You'll just have to beat it naturally, you know. Could be wrong. Maybe they'll leave that open. You never know. You can see the damage grows every turn, just like Blackwood. He, of course, makes more gems yellow, smaller buff. We're up to 239 there. It should be like over 300. Yep, 317. And we should get like probably like 380-ish, 390 out of this, maybe close to 400. 360, a little bit off. So here's the first time where you normally would go kaput. And because we're hype 4 versus a hype 2, you can see we're only taking 47 million damage instead of that 100 million, right? The boss does 100 million for every turn that has passed, including the current turn. So next time he'll do like 200 million. But if this was like 45, it's like 90 million. So we should have just enough to squeak by it and then live through the next 3 actions, or the next 3 turns rather, beyond that. So that is the first time you normally go kaput. So all this is like bonus, if you will. And you could do this with any showboat, right? Against this, you're just going to need hype 4 and then about 165 million health, give or take, right approximately there if you're trying to figure out, save yourself some time when you start the match. So like black, you'd be able to do this with, right? Same exact thing with black, really. Probably very similar damage. Gunther. But the way we get to the health on Penta is different than the other ones, so. Cruise and light it right along here. $326 there. Now we could, because you live so long, you technically could hot tag with anyone at the after the 3rd rotation with 1 turn left and double up your damage, right? So that is something you actually could do. You wouldn't even need to use a hot tag person, and then get 1 more rotation, or three more turns, 15 more actions. And if your second was weaker, you would definitely go that route, right? My second happens to be Muda, and Muda probably can do more damage. I mean, like, probably. But I might try that just for fun, and just go ahead and tag Muda out, because I think we'll have enough health to survive that as well. And see, we don't take much damage except on the boss's actual finishing turn, which we should take about 90-ish million here on this, and survive to go another go. Maybe I will just let Muta take the hit and show you guys straight up what just Penta can do. Without any, like, cheesiness, weirdness, whatever you want to call it. Why not? So yeah, that would get us like what? 3 sets of 15 actions, 45, and then a fourth. 60 actions with Zombie Penta. On the highest level boss. So that would be pretty cool. We might do that. Why not? Let's do that. Let's see if we can do that. All right, this is the second time you would normally go kaput. And you see it did 95 million. We got 26 left. Let's see how much it takes us down throughout this. If it's less than 13 million, then we can run another run. And we'll just let Muta come in. We'll tag him in with one action left on the third. Let him take the one hit and go curse splat. Also, check your Facebook Messenger. You got a message. Just saying. But yeah, I think this is, I mean, like I said, anyone with this much health. So Showboat's going to be the easiest class to do this with, especially if you have some health moments. Um, and then, I mean, some bosses are going to hit a little bit harder depending what they leave on the board, what they do with the board, but not a ton actually at Hype 4. So anyone you can probably get into that 165 million health range with Hype 4 on the big tier, right? Now, if you if you drop down to tier 4, I have no idea how long you would live with this, but a really long time, I would imagine. Yeah, we didn't take very much damage there, only like 4 million. So, I mean, if I went on a lower tier, who knows how long he would last? Probably at least another full rotation, because you're essentially going Hype 4 versus Hype 1, and you're reducing so much damage that way. So much damage that I think you'd at least get 1 to 2 more full rotations out of it. But I'm not really super dupe. I mean, I guess maybe I'll do that next week for you guys, because for factions that still don't have a tier 4 cleared and you have limited energy, that could give you guys hope for getting there once you get a guy like hyped up. So next week I'll do this on a tier 4 for you guys. We'll see how long he can live. As long as I'm not busy and I remember. To see if that'll help you. And we'll kind of try and get a health baseline for you guys so you know going into it. But yeah, 165 million on tier 5. About where you want to be approximately. This is the second hit, so we have one more turn to go before we would go kaput all the way. It's annoying we're not getting any breaks on those frozen gems. We're losing a little bit of damage there. If we go under 13 million, we can't go. Yeah, we're good. We're good for a full nother rotation. Barely. So we'll do that. We'll tag Penta in at 1. I'm sorry. Muta in at 1. And we'll get one more entire rotation out of Zombie Penta. So 60, technically 59 actions, I guess, because Muta's going to eat one of them. But yeah, 60 actions with Penta. We'll just call it 60 because it feels better for the even number for my brain, even though it's technically 59. I'll just call it 60. All right. We're up to like almost 300 million. So we should get at least 1.5. We'll probably get close to like 2 billion out of that one. Muta would be slightly more damage long term though. But we'll do it just for funsies, right? Why not? Mood is very much going to go splat here. No buff or anything, so this won't hit very hard. It just looks pretty. Now we can try dropping our multiplies, right? But we're not getting the buff, so I may do that the second to last action of the turn and just drop the multiplies and see if we can get a really big hit, but we lose. I tested that. It doesn't work as good as spamming the finisher every time, but maybe just for fun to see what kind of hit we can get. I'll hit the multiply and then hit the finisher, but I'm not really set up for it. Let's see what these do though. We should be getting close to 400-ish, I would think. Yeah, 347, so 350 million. Which will put this at over 700 million total. This is probably getting close to 4. Probably is 4. Yeah, 426. So we'll call that like 750-ish. Like 1.1. Let's just do it just for fun. We're going to lose an action here, so we're losing like 450 million damage to see what we get here, which is probably not worth it, by the way. But just for fun. This would have to be like 900 to a billion for it to have been worth it, and I highly doubt it's going to be. Yeah, 874, so really close. So we didn't really lose much by doing that, so that's fine. Wonder how much we get out of Penta here. If we're doing, I don't know. I'm trying to calculate in my head. Well, we might get like 15 to 20 bill out of this, maybe? Question mark? It obviously takes a while because it's so many cycles, right? That's the downside for sure. For sure, for sure. All right, we should have like just a little bit of health left. Yeah. You might want 170 if you're doing this, 170 million if you're trying to live with all of these actions. Otherwise, I think 165 would be plenty. If you're just gonna let your second go second. But yeah, the cool part of this is you don't even need a hot tag person to get the extra run of actions in. So. And this is our last go. 60 actions with one character. That's a first for me. And Titan. If you're wondering, I only have 2 hype 4s. This and Bundy. Not good, right? But I'm getting closer to more of them. Hall of Fame JBL. I need like 20 wildcard, I think, is all. Maybe even less at this point. And I can take Hall of Fame JBL to 4. So, yeah. And then I need like 60 tech wildcard, and I can take Hip Hop Cena. Those are the closest ones. And then Zombie Bliss, I need like 60. No, I need like 100. I think I have 50. I think I need like 50 or 60 more powerhouse wildcard hype, and I can take Zombie Bliss. I've been focusing my wildcard hype on specific characters for specific reasons, mostly taking Showdown into account, to be honest. Because feuds, whatever, it's not a problem. So yeah, let's see what our final number ends up being here. It should be pretty solid. I'm guessing somewhere between 15 and 20. Let's see where he comes out. Yeah, 14,897, basically right at 15. Kind of as expected. So yeah, that was pretty fun. That doubles my previous high score on this one. So just the fact that he can live a long time, and nothing gained by using Muda there, right? That's kind of a waste of Muda, to be honest. I should have used somebody else, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So let me show you guys the setup for Penta. Muda setup obviously does not matter, right? At all. So yeah, so if you want to try and survive on tier 5 Titan, you're going to want about 165 million health to start. If you want to go the extra like I did, I would say like 175 to be safe, 170. And then my Penta setup to get to that health, I got 50% from the moment. And then the entourage, obviously, like I said, when you have 99 MP goes away, tour perks, you could still get it loaded with the bite using any two. But when that goes away, you'll need Hall of Fame Ron. I believe he's the one that adds green MP, and then you'd hit this first and then be that the rest of the way. So we got 30% more health here, 30% more health here, and 30% more health here. If you don't have the moment, you could drop Austin and go with Cena and get another 25 million health. So I think that could hit you to the threshold you need to hit, right? Um, so yeah, I think it's doable with Penta. Um, Pretty much whenever, no matter what they do with perks. And even if you don't really, he adds health? I actually didn't know that. Let me look at that. This Cena adds 25 mil. So that's another health option to get you there. Really? Techno Hogan. Hogan is, I want to say, he's relatively inexpensive in the whatever store. Um, Ew. He needs an upgrade. 15%? That's gross. You don't want to mess with that. So yeah, Cody, this Cena, and any two Hall of Famers. Um, and I think Hall of Famer on is Goldberg's the green, so it would be Goldberg, yeah. So you can just run this, the exact trainers you saw here for Zombie Penta. But yeah, once you go in, if you're over 165, you know, you can last the 3. If you're like 175 ish, you know, you can last the 4. And you can apply that, I would expect, to most of them. I don't know. He's my first 4 where I've tried to get the health and live that long. Um, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. This ended up being really long. Maybe you find it interesting. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Uh, do you want to see more Titan stuff from me? If so, how much? Would you rather just wait till I have something kind of interesting like this, or like what exactly would help you guys, if anything, at this point with Titan? I did a bunch to start because it was new and we were figuring it out. I'm just not really sure what else might be needed for the community, so let me know about that. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. And good luck out there. Yeah. I'm very happy I have him to hype for. He's very useful. You could also use a HP strap as well. You lose a little bit of damage, but you gain a lot of survivability. So HP straps are going to be viable strategies for sure, for sure.